be ready. I'm going to go through 20 slides in about a minute and a half, and then we'll get to the part you guys are really here for, which is the demo itself. All right. So here's the stuff that I would have talked about this morning in an abbreviated version. So I'm going to just skip my intro. This is what I felt this morning. This is what I feel now. That wasn't the original intro, but it works. All right, so I talked about the 3 tiers, and these are the new features that we released for 7.2. So you'll see in the green here the things we did for Portal CE, for DXP, the custom tuning and similar results features, and then for Liferay Enterprise Search, the 2 new modules I talked about, learning to rank and cross-cluster replication. All right, brief overview of the stuff we did for Liferay 7.2 CE, so available to all customers. And the focus here was on building your Liferay project, accelerating and getting you guys launched. So I talked about Elasticsearch 7 compatibility and the fact that the XPack security functionality is now bundled in the connector. And this is available for DXP and CE. And for those of you guys that know, previously this was only available on Liferay Enterprise Search Premium offering. Now this is available to everybody. And just a quick note, the DXP connector is already released. We're about to build the connector for CE now that GA2 is out, so that should be available on the marketplace shortly. A couple widgets. Sort is actually finally here. I know it's kind of surprising that this didn't exist before. I'll show a quick demo of this one. Custom filter widget. This allows you to set up a page and filter down the search results to specific fields. Infrastructure changes. I talked about how we now support creating and searching non-Liferay indexes. There's actually an application in DXP, the metrics workflow app, that's already making use of this. But if you're creating your own application and you have need for your own index that doesn't go through Liferay's indexing framework, we now have the APIs available to do that. But not only the APIs, you can kind of see here in the screenshot, but this search bar and the search results widget can actually now be used. If you go into customization, you can actually specify which index you want this search to contribute to. Some administration stuff. There's now a tab that shows all the indices and the field mappings. Search insights, now you can actually see the explanation. So something you could, of course, always do by querying Elasticsearch directly, but we've made it a lot easier to access this information. Other UI improvements, additional configurations, API improvements, multi-language search improvements. Okay, let's get through these slides. All right, so DXP 7.2 talked about result rankings, and the focus here is on tuning your search results. So I'll give a demo of this in a moment. Synonyms, you can equate words and terms that have equal meaning together. So phrases here like digital experience platform, DXP, and digital enterprise, or phrases like handphone, mobile phone, cell phone. Similar results widget, so not exactly in the realm of custom tuning, but a really useful widget for being able to pull up a main document or an entity and finding results that are similar to what the user is viewing. I'll also give a demo of that. All right, so I put demo and I put one of these here because I was really afraid that that something would go wrong with the demo, and that completely happened this morning. So let's hope that this time around it works a little bit better. And actually, before I go to the demo, I'm going to also quickly go through the slides regarding what's available now in Liferay Enterprise Search. So cross-cluster replication, this is for data disaster recovery as well as data locality optimization. We're going to support the ability using Elastic's native functionality for doing Elasticsearch cluster replication across remote data centers. So this will be available by Q1 of 2020 for those who are subscribers of LDS. And we have already released a learning to rank module, which leverages machine learning to help with solving ranking tuning problem or challenges. All right, now let's get to it. All right. So Perfect. What I have here is actually a local copy of our Liferay community website. I've actually upgraded this to 7.2, and you'll notice I'm running here on localhost. This search bar doesn't exist on the public Liferay community site, but I added this just so we can kind of see some examples. So let's say I'm searching for DevCon, right? And you'll see here that these are the results that I have. These are the out-of-the-box facets that you guys are familiar with. I removed a couple of the facets, but you see here we have some blogs, documents, and message boards, and we have a few categories. So one of the filters that, one of the widgets that we added is a sort widget. So by default, of course, we're going to be searching by relevance, but now you can search by create date or by the user. And by going into the configuration of this widget, so by default, this views field is not included. So this is actually one that I added. So by you can add as many as you want or remove some of the ones that you don't care about. And so by doing this, I can also now search by views, and I could see the most popular results. So if I actually open up the first couple, you'll notice this has 507,000 views, 367,000 views. And from this, you can actually see that a lot of the Radio Liferay episodes are some of the most popular blogs that we have on the community site. I also mentioned the custom filter. And so actually during the unconference, one of the questions came up, how would we customize this search page experience if we wanted to hide certain tags and categories, or if we wanted to narrow down these results to just blogs? Because you'll notice right now, from this facet filter, you see we have blogs, documents, and message boards. So I've actually added a couple of custom filters. And if I go into the configuration, I pre-populated this with an entry class name, but I can basically say here that the only type of entry class that I want to show is blogs entry. You can use what kind of query type, and these are straight from Elastic. Right? These have different meanings, whether the value should appear, should not appear. There's a few other settings that you can configure. You could choose to hide this from end users. You could choose to make it so that right now the users can actually change the value of the field value here, but you can also disable that as well. And you've seen here, I've now made this entry class name into blogs entry. So if I were to refresh this search, you'll notice that the only facet I get now is blogs entry. Right? Similarly, as I'm looking through these blogs, maybe the only blogs I want are the ones that are part of the news category. So right now we have news and feature and another category for Liferay Portal 7.x. So I can add another custom filter, which I've already done here, go into the configuration, and say for asset category titles, I only want those that match the value of news. So I'll save that and refresh. And now you see we have 37 results instead of 75 results. And you'll see that every result here has the news category. Okay. I can also get rid of the featured one if I want by, again, adding another custom filter and saying that featured must not appear as part of the search results. Okay. And since we're demoing, I wasn't going to show this originally, but the Search Insights widget, right? So in 7.1, we added this. You can see the request string. Very easy to read, very parsable. But now in 7.2, we also include the response string. And if you were to copy and paste this into some IDE, like one thing that's nice is for every result, you can actually see the explanation for why this result ranked the way that it ranked. So you see this one has a score of 542, and you can see kind of a more detailed explanation of what various fields and boost factors contributed to this score. Okay. You'll also notice, and I'm not going to go into a demo of this, but if we were to look at the search bar configuration, a lot of these search widgets now have a federated search key, which you can use in combination with the low-level search options to search results that are in another non-Liferay index in your Elasticsearch cluster. Okay. All right. So those are some of the features that we added in Liferay Portal CE. But what I really want to focus on is the features that we added for Liferay DXP and Liferay Enterprise Search. So let me go ahead and clear these custom filters. Actually, let's just go ahead and remove these. All right, so now we're back to our original search query. And I think this is big enough. Here, I'll zoom in a little bit. So you can see that when I search for DevCon on the community site, that the very first result I get is DevCon 2018. The second result is DevCon 2019. And then after that, I get some results back from 2015 and 2016. And if we're trying to promote DevCon, I might want to promote DevCon 2019 to the very top, and maybe hide some of these results that maybe might not be as relevant anymore. So as part of Liferay DXP, we have a new category of apps called Search Tuning. I'm going to go ahead and open up Result Rankings. And Result Rankings allows you to enter a specific query and choose, customize how you want these results to appear. So you can imagine if you have a list of the most common queries that your users are searching for, you can really customize the results that they're going to get, make sure that they're getting the optimal results. So here I'm going to customize results for the query DevCon. You'll notice here that the results that I get here, DevCon 2018, DevCon 2019, Liferay DevCon 2015 recovery, right, these are the same results that I get here. And so I might decide I want DevCon 2019 to be at the very top. Maybe I decide that Liferay DevCon 2015, that's kind of old. Maybe 2016 is a little bit old as well. So I'm going to go ahead and hide those two results. And 2013, I'm going to hide that one. Hide this one. And I see here a blog post from Andrew, and I know that he posts really great content, and he's sharing about his DevCon 2018 experience. And right now, this shows up as the 10th or 12th result. So I can choose to also pin this to the very top. And so what the users will see when they search DevCon is 2019. They'll see Andrew's blog post, and then DevCon 2018. And I might know that there's another search result here somewhere about unconference. And nowadays, unconference has become so synonymous with DevCon that maybe I want to have one of the unconference blog posts show up near the very top. But I can't find it here. So what I can do is I can click on Add Result. And I'm going to look up the word unconference. And here's the blog post, the one by Alvaro. So I'm going to select this and add this. So now unconference 2018 is at the very top, but I want that to be, let's say, after Andrew's post. So this is going to be the new set of results that we're going to see every time a user searches DevCon. So I'll go ahead and save this. And now if I were to go back to my search page, I'm going to search again. And you'll see that now the results I get for DevCon matches the customization I made in the Result Rankings app. This is the previous query, right? And this is a new query. Right. So you can imagine use cases where you might even want to promote content just for a temporary period. Maybe you have a promotion going on, or there's an upcoming webinar about a new product launch, and you want to make sure that every time that somebody searches Liferay Commerce, that the upcoming webinar in 1 month is going to show up at the very top. So you could pin that result. Maybe there are certain results that you just don't want to show at all. Maybe it's legal, or it's unnecessary content, it's irrelevant, but it's really difficult to tune and hide these results. And so you can go into results ranking and make sure that those results are removed from the query. Okay. Under search tuning, we also added synonyms. And what synonyms allows you to do is basically say, I want all of these words to essentially be equal to each other. So every time somebody searches lug, I want it to also find every document that has Liferay user group, or laptop and notebook. In UK, they use the word flat. In the US, they use the word apartment. And if I'm running a real estate website, I want to make sure that anybody searching for flat is going to find results for apartment as well. So in our case, we're going to do something a little bit arbitrary. And let's say I really want anybody who's searching for unconference to see results for DevCon, and people who search for DevCon to find results for unconference. So I'm going to create a synonym with unconference and DevCon. I'll save that. And now I'm going to open up another search window. And you'll see now when I search DevCon, I'll start to see results that also have the word unconference. So right now it's highlighted. The ranking is the same, at least for the first 4 or 5 results. But you'll see once we get down to the 5th result, right, we start the documents that have the word unconference start to rank higher. Or if I were to search for the word unconference instead, I'll still, of course, see results that have the word unconference, but I'll also see that DevCon is going to start appearing in the search results. Right? So this is useful whenever you have phrases or words or keywords that have the same meaning, but especially with terms like laptop and notebook. If you have 80% of your users using the word notebook, but still you have 20% using the word laptop, you want to make sure your product page that says Dell Inspiron 15-inch laptop, that anybody who searches Dell notebook will find that same result just as much as anybody who searches the phrase Dell laptop. So these 2 features are available in DXP, and it's really designed to help with the challenges that we often face of trying to tune and deliver kind of the optimal results that our users expect from their search experience. I'm going to switch gears really quickly, and I'm going to demo the similar results widget that we added. I'm actually going to jump to another Liferay portal instance. So this is over here on the right, the similar results widget. You'll notice what I have here on the left is the asset publisher. And if I click on any one of these links, I configured it to show the content in context. So you can see here that Liferay Faces download reached another all-time high. And behind the scenes, this is using Elasticsearch's more like this query to find documents that are similar to this main asset here. So you'll see the very top one is Liferay Faces downloads at an all-time high. So most likely these 2 are very strongly related. And I'll see other results about Liferay Faces. And I can click on any one of these similar results. That will become now the main document, and the similar results widget will repopulate. Right, with, if I open up these other pages, so this is the blogs widget. And same idea, if I click on Liferay Portal 7.1 CGA4 release, this is using another display type, but it's the same widget, similar results. And you'll see that here, this is a very kind of simple list view. This is shows a little bit more detail, including the author, the type, and a brief abstract. you'll notice that all of these results, right, are similar to the main result that we have here. I can go into the configuration and I can change the display type. And we also included a lot of kind of low-level parameters for you to be able to really fine-tune and customize the algorithm that's used to figure out which results are similar to the main result on this page. Finally, I just want to show one more view. So this is the Documents and Media widget. And I have uploaded here a number of PDFs. And by opening up any one of these PDFs, I'll see down here I have a card view of similar results showing a thumbnail image and other documents that are similar to this one on achieving enterprise search satisfaction. And the first result I got here was something on a Gartner report on the impact of technology. But it's using the index content in Elasticsearch to figure out what other content is similar. And this widget is actually not yet released, but it will be available. It should be soon, depending on kind of the holidays season and schedule. But in the next couple of months, we expect this to be released onto the marketplace. Okay, now I want to switch gears, kind of go back to custom tuning. There's one more part of this demo that I want to show in kind of the 5-6 minutes that I have left. So I mentioned that as part of Liferay Enterprise Search that we released the Learning to Rank module. Now, I could easily, well, I couldn't do it because I don't have enough technical knowledge, but somebody who's an expert in learning to rank could easily give an hour-long session just talking about the algorithm, how it works underneath the hood. But I wanted to give you kind of a quick demonstration of what it is that we've integrated. And I mentioned in my earlier talk some of the plans that we have to provide UIs and to automate some of the experience of taking the data that we have to try to determine the relevance between a query and a search result, to feed that back into the machine to train it and to produce better search results. Just as a reminder, right, the problem that Learning to Rank is trying to solve is the challenge of tuning your search algorithm. Right? Again, if any of you guys have played with trying to tune your search algorithm, you know that oftentimes when you optimize for one query, you're going to get worse results for 10 other queries. So you're constantly playing whack-a-mole. But it's really hard to know how changing the modified date boost or the title or asset tag match boost is going to affect your queries for everything else that your users might be searching. So what Learning to Rank does is it allows you to basically tell the machine, for this query, here are the results that are the most relevant or the least relevant. From that, if you guys are familiar with machine learning, you also provide a set of features. Features are basically like Elasticsearch queries that say, I want you to look at the title, I want you to look at maybe the view count, I want you to look at the modified date. And using these factors and looking at the judgment list, the grades that I have provided, I want you to come up with your own rank, your own boosts, so that instead of a search admin trying to figure it out, you're harnessing the power of machine learning to figure out how you should boost these various fields. So let's go back to our original search query. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to delete this custom result ranking. All right, so this is our original search query. So remember, one of our goals is we wanted DevCon 2019 to show up at the very top. And this being a list of blog posts, it's reasonable for us to say blogs that are more recent should get boosted higher than older blogs. Right? So let's say we want the modified time to be considered as a factor into our search query. So I'm not going to kind of go through too much of what happens and the ghost in the machine here. But essentially, what we've done is we've integrated with a third-party module for Elasticsearch Engine called the Learning to Rank module. And we've integrated that module with Liferay such that if you were to provide the grading list, select the features, train the model, and then upload the model, then we will re-score your queries based upon that model. And I know that I said a lot right there, and that explanation alone could take 20, 30 minutes. But I just kind of want to show you in these next couple of minutes is essentially what I did here. So we have here a feature set, and you'll notice that I named it Liferay Modified. And this basically says what factors are we going to look at when we're running this query. So as expected, we're going to look at title. We want to look at content. But one thing that's new that we haven't been looking at before is we're going to be looking at the modified field. Okay? So I've already uploaded these features to Elasticsearch. So if I get the modified, you'll see here is my feature set. And then there's a number of models that are available for learning to rank. I'm going to use a very simple one called that uses a linear regression. And so assuming you've now submitted the feature set and you provided the training, then once you trained, what the machine will spit out is this new model. Now, I will have to admit, I kind of hacked this a little bit, and I didn't have enough time to actually go through the full experience of grading a lot of results because, of course, for machine learning to work really well, you need copious amounts of data. So I kind of hacked it a little bit. And I fudged these numbers just a bit, but I've already uploaded this model. You can see if I run this get command. And by the way, this is the XPack monitoring module that's available with Liferay Enterprise Search. You'll see that I have here a model called linear regression modified. And if I were to go back into Liferay, go into settings. All right, you'll see that we have a new configuration for learning to rank if you have Liferay Enterprise Search. I'm going to enable learning to rank. I'm going to select the model that I uploaded. I'm going to update this. And now if I run this exact same query, you'll see that modified data is now becoming a factor into my search query. So you'll see now DevCon 2019 is at the top. And you'll see just in general that all of the top results are more recent. It's not ordered strictly by date. You'll see that there's some newer posts that are at the bottom. There's a 2019 post down here. But you'll notice that now it's actually factoring in the features that I've uploaded, and the training model is now able to provide you with the best boost for your particular use case. Now, this is an iterative process. You want to continuously be uploading judgment lists, training the model, uploading, and making sure that your users are getting relevant results. So it's not as easy as a one-click, enable it, and all your relevancy challenges will be solved. But this is kind of the first step that we've taken to help you guys in being able to leverage machine learning tools. And I am out of time, but I'd be happy to talk more about both what we built and some of the new features that we're planning to add on top in future releases of Liferay Enterprise Search. All right. Thank you guys again so much for being able to skip a half hour of your lunch to come to see the demo. I'd be happy to talk to you guys afterwards. So please come find me. I'll be around somewhere out there in the lobby area. All right. Thank you, guys.